Okay? But let's look at another theory from researchers Barry, Kim, and Boski. They suggest that how an individual adjusts to a new culture boils down to the answer of two questions. The first question is, how important is it for me to maintain my own ethnic roots and distinctiveness? The second question is, how much contact do I want to have with other ethnic groups, including the dominant culture? It really fascinates me that such a complex issue can be covered just by these two questions. So let's look at this, all right? So according to these researchers, if a person answers yes to both questions, then they will become integrated into the new culture. I think their term integration seems to me like it's referring to our term acculturation. Because according to this, the integration or acculturation, they would keep their own identity, ethnic identity, but they're going to join the new culture also as much as possible. Then, if the answer is no to the first question and yes to the second, it will result in assimilation. Why would someone not want to keep their own cultural identity? Well, there are many reasons. One is that they may have poor self-esteem, or they had a very difficult life in their native culture. Another is that they are tired of being picked on by others in the dominant culture for being so different. So they decide to identify completely with the new culture. But it can happen for positive reasons also. For example, they may feel it's more respectful to the new culture to fully assimilate into it. Or maybe they married someone from the new culture and they choose to assimilate for that reason. So there are lots of reasons for complete assimilation. The other option is separation. If they feel it's essential to maintain their own cultural identity, and they aren't very interested in mixing with people from their new culture or the dominant culture, then they are in this separation category. And actually, many people live perfectly happily like this, in the United States anyway. They are easy to find in Southern California. In fact, we have labels for it. Little Saigon, Koreatown, Chinatown, Little Italy, okay? The fourth possible result is to answer both questions with no. If your own culture does not maintain its value for you and you aren't interested in the new culture, then you end up marginalized. You know, when you write a paper, the important information is in the middle of the paper, right? And it's easy to not even see information written in the margins. Well, that's what happens to some people also. In our glossary list, marginalization is something that's forced upon minority cultures by the majority culture. However, as we can see from this question matrix, it also sometimes is a choice that someone makes. Now, of course, an argument can be made that people who make this choice don't realize that they even have a choice, that they have any choice at all. Sometimes the dominant culture makes it seem like this is the only choice there is.